How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Generation 8 leak discussion video. In today's video, we are actually going to be doing a follow-up of yesterday's video because the person who leaked Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield early has actually come back with a bunch of brand new information. However, guys, as always, and I cannot stress this enough, just because he did predict a lot of things correct, that does not mean that all this information is going to end up being 100% true, so make sure you guys take it with a grain of salt and realize that I'm talking about this just for fun. If you'd like to read along while I talk, you can find a link to the original post in the description bar down below, and now, with all that out of the way, I have to tell you guys where this leak came from. So guys, this leak was sent in to me by one of my subscribers on my Discord server, and it does come from 4chan. However, guys, before we go ahead and take a look at the leak, if you guys haven't already, I highly recommend you go ahead and join my Discord server. As of now, we have over 3,300 people always talking about Pokemon Generation 8, as well as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and if you guys ever want to talk to me, send me a leak or anything like that, there is the best place to do so. You can find a link to my Discord in both the description as well as the pinned comment. And now, guys, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into this brand new leak. So guys, like I said, this leak comes from 4chan, and it is titled, "I'm back, more Generation 8 info," and it is posted by Anonymous. It starts by saying, "Hello there, I am the person who posted the information about Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield before it was officially announced. For those who don't know what I am talking about, I posted the leak that I will use for the picture of this post on February 21st. A lot of people have been saying that I have just been getting lucky, but I am here to tell you that I actually have insider information, and today I am here to prove it. New information. 2 new evolutions, a flying and a ground type. Melton plays a big role in the story, and you will be gifted one. Armored evolutions are going to be similar to Mega evolutions, and when a Pokemon armor evolves, basically all that means is they put on armor that you buy throughout the game. These armors will be called Charmer for the Charizard armor, Flarmer for the Flygon armor, etc. Not every Pokemon can armor evolve, and a Nintendo Direct Mini is set for March 20th of 2019. Screenshot this. So now that we've gone over the entire post, let's talk about it a little bit. So guys, like I said, this is actually a follow-up to the leak that we covered yesterday, so if you guys didn't already watch that video, go ahead and watch that one first. You'll be able to find a link to it in both the description bar as well as the pinned comment, and if you guys watch that one first, you'll have a much better understanding of what this leak entails. Now, what I said in yesterday's video still definitely holds true in this video. Now, like I said in yesterday's video, I knew that there were going to be people who were posting anonymously saying that they were this guy who got all this information correct. However, once again, we have no way of proving if this is actually him. Now, right away, I'm not saying that this isn't him, and it is definitely possible that it is, but honestly, it is more likely that it is someone else who's just riding off of this guy's coattails and fame, and is trying to get their 5 seconds of fame by just using this guy's name. So remember, guys, take this with a huge grain of salt, because although this might be the same guy, he did post anonymously, so now we are going to see a lot of posts like this come out, where they say, this is the information, I'm that same guy, even though it might not be. So now let's go ahead and talk about all of the new information that this guy told us about. So the first bit of information he gave us is that we are going to be getting 2 new evolutions, both a flying type and a ground type. Now, I do like this because I do think that this makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, I'm a little bit surprised that we aren't going to be getting a dragon type to kind of like counteract the new fairy type that we got with Sylveon, but as of now, guys, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Personally, I think it's been way too long since we've gotten a brand new evolution, since the last time we got one was in X and Y with Sylveon, and we didn't get any in Generation 7 in Sun and Moon, and I think that we do need at least one in this upcoming game. Now, in terms of the types, I do think that a flying type and a ground type do make a lot of sense. I mean, usually with the evolutions, they are the types that counter each other, so a good example of that is Leafeon and Glaceon. Obviously, Glaceon is super effective against, they're basically like the yin and yang. I like to think of Leafeon as like summer, and then Glaceon as the winter, and then we have Umbreon and Espeon, which is the light and darkness thing. So it would make sense for them to do the whole yin and yang and the opposites thing. At least that's how I see it personally. If you guys see it a different way, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, obviously, at this point, it seems as though we are going to be getting an evolution for every single type, and so eventually they're going to have to release the flying and ground type, so why not release them in this upcoming game? I feel like this is the best time to do it, unless we get a dragon type, because personally, I really want a dragon type, but if you guys got to go ahead and go with flying and ground, that's fine with me too. Next up, apparently Melton is going to play a big role in the story, and you're going to be gifted one. Now, this is something that I can definitely see happening. I mean, in the post yesterday, it said that Melton tied into Armored Evolution, as well as the Legendary Lore, and considering Melton was the first Pokemon we got, the little sneak peek of Generation 8, of course Melton is going to be important. I think Melton is going to be especially important now, because if we are getting gifted one, it has to play some kind of role in the story. And this might be a long shot, guys, but hear me out on this. Considering that Melton is a steel type and shields and swords are usually made out of like steel or iron, it would make sense maybe if Melton like helped awaken the legendary sword Pokemon or the legendary shield Pokemon by giving it some of its metal or something like that. But as of now, considering we don't know anything about the story at all yet, we are just going to have to wait and see what happens. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about Armored Evolutions. So apparently they are going to be similar to Mega Evolutions, and when a Pokemon armor evolves, basically all that means is they put on armor that you buy throughout the game. Now, if you guys watched the video I made yesterday, I had a pretty similar idea to this. What I thought was going to happen is that you were going to travel around the region, and then you'd find pieces of armor like, let's say, a helmet specifically for Charizard, or a chest plate or something like that, and then you'd be able to make them better, maybe by using Melton or something like that, and attach them to your Pokemon and just raise their defenses and special defenses and stuff like that. However, apparently what's going to happen is that you are going to be buying all of this armor throughout the game, and honestly, I hope that this isn't true, because I'm the type of guy who loves fetch quests. I loved finding all of the Mega Stones in Pokemon X and Y, and I loved getting all the Z Crystals in Pokemon Sun and Moon, so I really hope they don't take away that element. It just seems like it's a little bit too easy to just get this really good armor that's similar to Mega Evolution for basically nothing. I mean, I understand you have to pay for it with your Poké Dollars, but it's not as rewarding as it is if you find them out in the wild. So personally, guys, like I said, I really do hope that we see the way that I did it, where you have to go out and find stuff. But if this is the same guy who got all this information right before, then this might be what it is, and we might just have to deal with it. Also, guys, really quick, can we just talk about how good these armor names are? So Charizard's is going to be Charmer, which, I mean, it doesn't sound that bad, but then we have Flarmer. The Flygon armor is going to be called Flarmer. I don't know, it just sounds really funny to me, and personally, I don't think that these are going to be the final names, but if they are, man, that is absolutely incredible. Next up, apparently not every Pokemon can armor evolve. Now, right away, I definitely understand why they don't want to do this, and I definitely think that this makes sense. Could you guys imagine? So as of right now, we have over 800 Pokemon, and that is without including all of the Pokemon from Generation 8. So, if they tried to code armor for every single Pokemon, even if it was only one piece of armor per Pokemon, that's an extra 800 different evolutions they would have to code, and I don't think that Game Freak has the time to do that. However, it definitely does make sense for them to give armor evolution to all the iconic Pokemon. Obviously, I'm referring to your Charizards, your Mewtwo's, your Zeraoras, and even your Pikachus, but the Pokemon like Slurpuff, I'm sorry for all you Slurpuff fans out there, obviously are not going to be getting armor evolutions, just because Game Freak does not have the time to code it for every single Pokemon. Once again, just give it to the iconic Pokemon, and I think that everyone is going to be just as happy with it. And finally, guys, the last thing that this leaker claims is that there is a Nintendo Direct Mini, which is set for March 20th of 2019. Now, right away, this is an extremely bold claim, and honestly, if he does end up getting this right, that is huge. That definitely shows that this leaker has credibility. Now, granted, he could have just gotten lucky with his guess, but let's be real here. If there's actually a Nintendo Direct Mini on March 20th, this is going to be a 100% real leak. But yeah, guys, so if there actually is a Nintendo Direct Mini on March 20th, then I definitely do believe that this leak is real. However, if he gets it wrong, then he probably does lose all of his credibility, considering that he made this claim very bold. He didn't say there was going to be a Nintendo Direct Mini in March. He had an exact date down. So as of now, guys, we're just going to have to wait and see. However, guys, let me know what you thought about this leak in the comment section down below. Do you guys believe that all this information is real, and would you be happy if it was? why or why not? Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.